The prince stood right next to Saskia during the council. Did he have access to the wine cellar beforehand?
How should I know?
Why flap your mouth then?
The prince is a wealthy lord. Bribing a skivvy to poison the wine is nothing to him.
Just because someone can afford gold teeth doesn't mean they'll pull their healthy ones. You know Saskia's servant?
Willie of the Oblates. He handled the wine, indeed, but loves the Virgin like a sister and mother put together.
He'd gladly get quartered for her.
Where's this Willie of yours?
Hiding in his shack, afraid of them lords. Squirrels guard him.
What's it really all about? Who's backing you?
We want justice.
We don't need no one backing us. We knows what to do.
How would you punish the prince?
If a lad counts hens wrong, he'll be flogged. What should we then do with a man poisoning others?
Kill him.
A land without a ruler is a nightmare.
We have a ruler, the Virgin of Eden.
It's not certain she'll live.
Then we'll choose another who'll manage. But he must be one of us lads. That way he'll understand us.
And all people is gonna be equal, our way.
And the non-humans?
We have enough down on the fields. Let non-humans find a non-human land.
Away with them!
Farewell.
Give us this hope. Enough of this charade.
Try to be reasonable, folks. Sit down and talk in peace.
We've talked enough. Come on, lads, let's drag the prince from his hovel.
Vergen's not a cesspit for anyone to shit in. There are laws to abide, and Scalen Burden's job is to uphold them.
There's no law allowing a serf to threaten a king's scion. I, Silgrat, brother of Seltkirk, the greatest knight to walk Edirnian land, say so.
Does it matter who was born in a castle and who in a pigsty? Any fool can prejudge and condemn. It's easier to accuse than to prove guilt.
A peasant servant claims that Prince Stennis supposedly attempted to kill Saskia. Why would the prince do such a dastardly deed? Bear in mind how eminent is his lineage.
That's why. The mongrel covets the crown.
Do you even remember how valorous he was towards Saskia during the negotiations with Henselt?
Pretending to be with her he was, sly fox. Taking the simple peasants in. But us lads ain't so dumb as you lords think.
See for yourselves how the commoners hate the prince, spitting venom like adders. They hatched a plot to dispose of him.
Saskia's servant said that...
Where is this servant, might I ask? If he's got something to say, why does he hide like a thief? The answer is simple. He's a fraud.
He's hiding to save his skin from you, whoresons. Squirrels have to guard him.
One last question. How could the prince poison Saskia? It's a known fact that servants taste wine from the barrels before the Virgin sips it.
A good point. We can't be sure if the prince poisoned the wine.
Stennis is blowing hot and cold. Everyone knows that.
You were supposed to prove his guilt, not insult him, yokel.
Tell us who else would do it. A peasant wanting to hurt the miss? Never. It's cause of her you noble dogs can't ignore us. A pig won't cut its own throat. A peasant's not foolish enough to raise his hand against his savior.
Perhaps it is no peasant's deed. However, that doesn't mean the prince is guilty, fool.
Answer me this. Was not Stennis' room next to Saskia's? Do not the wines come from his own lice-ridden cellar? Can he not enter the Virgin's kitchen at will? Yes. His serene dumhead, the prince can, curses on his kin. Nobody in Vergen wants to kill Saskia. And even if they want it, nobody but Stennis could do it.
It appears Stennis would benefit the most from Saskia's death.
Your Highness, this is dangerous.
I am not afraid. Fear is a commoner's trait, unfit for one with royal blood running in his veins. What do you want, to judge me? Is a prince a common thief who steals a dozen eggs at the market? You stand before royal majesty, and you raise your hands against it. In this world there are crimes that can be forgiven, and crimes that, by any means, cannot. Just as a mother killing her own child, or a man slitting his own brother's throat cannot be forgiven. A crime against one anointed by the gods themselves also cannot be condoned. He who raises hand against divine right is not worthy to walk this world.
And what about he who poisons the Virgin of Eden?
Firstly, Saskia is alive, so no one can blame me for her death. Secondly, you have no proof that it was I who tried to murder her. And thirdly, I assure all gathered here, I won't rise above the law. However, only she, the Virgin of Eden, can judge me.
Can it? And if Saskia won't get well, who's gonna judge you?
I believe she can be cured. But if the gods decide otherwise, we'll summon a coven of the wise who can pass just sentence.
Those are words worthy of a true sovereign!
I am the one you should look to for guidance. Let my deeds be the flame that lights up your darkness.
So you've forgotten how you tried to bribe me when I was at your house?
How about that, snout face?
This is slander.
There are no witnesses, Witcher.
You didn't say a word about your guilt or innocence. You demand justice. You want to summon a coven of the wise. But who will sit on that coven? Any peasants? No, only people you'll nominate yourself. Lords whom you'll reward with lands for reaching the right decision. Such men are to decide if you're guilty? No, you are guilty, Prince. You know you are. The nobles won't forgive them that.
They're a cowardly lot. Yelping's all they're good at.
And backstabbing.
By Stennis' example. His filthy life wasn't taken in vain. Eilhart will get royal blood, and Saskia will be cured.
We need to hurry. We can't keep peace in Vergen with strength alone.
Anything's possible using strength. One just has to know how to use it.
That's your credo?
Saskia's the best leader I know, but she can't hope to defeat Henselt with this rabble.
What do you intend to do?
I'll get reinforcements. The Scoia'tael are more numerous than you think. Time to summon them. I'll leave shortly.
You won't get through the fog.
I don't intend to. Mountains may stop human armies, but not the Scoia'tael. I'm going south.
Will you be back in time?
I have to. Vafail, Gwynblade. Don't lose hope.
Geralt, first throat of the Witcher's Guild. Finally, a drink with someone worth talking to.
Short on company?
What can Yarpin tell me? I prefer listening to horses fart.
Any idea where I can play dice around here?
Try the blacksmith's helper.
I wanted to talk to you about the Free State of Vergen. We haven't had the occasion somehow.
True.
Do you buy into Saskia's ideals?
Are you asking me if I believe what she says, or if I believe she'll be successful?
Both.
Saskia's no liar, that's a fact. But whether we'll manage, who can tell? One thing is sure. We'll never know if we never try. For now, a great battle awaits. A battle in which elf, dwarf, and human will stand side by side. And that is beautiful in itself.
It's also the biggest potential weakness.
Nothing unites folk like shared death. I believe those who survive will honor the deaths of their comrades.
If they win.
Even if they don't. News spreads fast. Others will follow in our footsteps.
The Kingslayer's trail has gone cold. Have you heard anything?
No one could sneak into Vergen. We watch day and night. Anyway, who would they come for here? Stennis?
If he's looking for Stennis, the peasants beat him to it.
In my opinion, he'll be hanging around Henseld's camp.
Yorvith seems to have changed. Have you noticed?
How? Has his arse grown fatter in Saskia's keep?
An elf who was the greatest foe of humans will now fight for their freedom. Doesn't that surprise you?
Only harpies don't change their minds. I'm no expert on elves, but as I see it, he's got a stiffy for Saskia.
Yorvith?
He stood all gentle as a lamb in council, stealing glances at her tits. When she spoke to him, he looked as happy as a fool whittling a wooden toy.
Vergen seems like an ancient town. Do you know its history?
It's one of the mining colonies Mahakam established. There were lots of them just 500 years ago. Now they're mostly in ruins. It was the first town where dwarves and humans began working side by side. For the past 3 years, it's been a symbol of our common death.
How are those biceps holding up, Zoltan?
Hard as a bull's bollocks. Arm wrestling's a dwarven pastime.
We ought to try it sometime.
I'll arm wrestle you anytime. Now, even.
Show me those bull's bollocks, then.
Your hand's like a vice.
It wasn't easy.
If you ever run into my old mates Yarpin or Sheldon, promise me you'll take them on. They'll be surprised.
Yorvith seems to have changed.
Everyone changes here. Except you, of course.
I'm not sure I like changes of that kind. I find them hard to believe.
I believed in Yorvith, until he hauled his ass out of here under some dubious pretext.
We need reinforcements.
You think he'll be back?
Time will tell.
That much I know. I'm asking for your opinion.
I'm no soothsayer.
I love our conversations. They can be so enlightening.
I tried locating Triss, but the mist disrupts the megascope. There's a weak signal nearby, probably on the other side.
In the Kedweni camp?
You'll have to pass through the mist.
There's no time to lose.
I'm continuously scanning the battlefield. I'll show you the way through. I'll find you when you enter the mist.
Farewell, then.
You wanted to discuss something?
Your friend Sheila is conniving with Henselt.
I know this, Witcher, but it's no cause for concern. Sheila is there to ensure Henselt doesn't fall prey to the same people who killed Foltest. We don't want him as sovereign of the Pontar Valley, but we also don't need Kedwen to descend into civil war.
I've found an immortelle.
Excellent. You wanted to discuss something?
You said we'd need a magical object to cure Saskia. Any ideas where I might start looking?
Magical items do not grow on trees, as you know. Luckily, this area has a long history. There's the Battle of Wraiths, the site of Sabrina Glevisig's death and suffering, the abandoned mines.
I was hoping you'd be specific.
I won't ask you to traipse around with a divining rod, but please try to be a little inventive. Ask the locals, that's always a good place to start. I dare say Alderman Burden knows every last stone in the area. Maybe you should see him.
Don't try anything.